Hello, everybody. This is Charles Cook, managing partner here at Cook Baxter Immigration. I probably should get my name up. That's me. Good to be with you today. We're going to be talking about just kind of going through a review of this new reconciliation plan that appears. Well, it appears like it probably will be in this bill, which could really could be a really big deal. So we're kind of waiting to see. Let's talk about what we hear as what's in it and what that means for purposes of you and how that would help folks. So let's take a look at this. All right. Bienvenido, soy Charles Cook, que estoy hablando hoy día en inglés, pero también hablaré en español. Si tiene preguntas, por supuesto, póngalos abajo y los vamos a hablar acerca de aquellas preguntas. Pero también voy a hablar primeramente de la propuesta de reforma inmigratoria que está en la propuesta de reconciliación. All right, so let's talk about this bill. First of all, what is a reconciliation bill? I mean, what does that actually mean in the context of immigration reform? What does that help? Okay, so we know that the DREAM Act, as it passed the Senate, is actually a very broad bill. And actually, it was part of the DREAM is actually together called the Dream and Promise Act of 2021. This is HR 6. So what does this do? All right. So let's take a look at it. In each of the provisions of the bill, I'm going to pull up the bill itself. We could talk about the text of that bill. All right. So first, the DREAM Act. So this is for the following people. This bill gives conditional status to people who entered the United States as children. Okay. This is conditional permanent residence. So let's talk about this. Here's what it says. The person who entered the United States is given lawful permanent residence if they have been in the United States since January 1 of 2021. This is a very broad bill. Okay. Came here. They were 18 or younger, not 16 that's in DACA, and not 2007 that's in DACA. This is 2021, 18 and under, and they haven't persecuted anybody, which is good. They don't have any criminal. They're not inadmissible for criminal grounds, which means no felonies, no aggravated felonies, etc., national security. And they've been admitted to an institution of higher earning. Okay, now this bill, by the way, doesn't require you to be undocumented. So this would apply to people who have H-4s, for example. All right. So you've been admitted to college or technical school, anything over higher education, career schools, etc. Or you've been in the United States and obtained a high school diploma or a GED, or a credential from a career school, or you're enrolled in high school. You're enrolled in a program that will help you pass the GED, or enrolled in some sort of technical school. That's it. That's the only criteria. 18 or younger, here before January 1, 2021. Your underlying status is irrelevant and been here continuously since January 1, 2021. This is huge. This is a huge bill. This is not DACA, which had maybe 1 million people that got it at one point. There could be 2 million people that get this bill, to get this relief. This is a very big bill. Fruit flies everywhere. And it also provides a waiver of some certain grounds of inadmissibility for humanitarian purposes. They're going to charge $495, which, by the way, is way too little. That may be changed in the final bill. That's not enough money for the government to do this. And there will be a streamlined process if you have DACA, okay, to apply for adjustment of status to permanent resident on a digital basis. or without conditional status. So if you have DACA, you probably jump right to lawful permanent residence. So this is a big deal. This is a big deal, and it does require people that you have registered for selective service if you're subject to that. So you can't get it if you've got any felony offense under state law, 3 or more misdemeanors, which exclude possession of marijuana or cannabis of some kind, not occurring on the same date. It excludes if you have domestic violence of some kind, okay, unless you've been the victim of domestic violence as well, or battery. There's also waivers for certain misdemeanors as part of this program. There are also going to be some secondary review, but this is it's a big deal. It also lets you go to court. You can get de novo review in federal court on these cases. You also get legal counsel appointed to you if you have to go to federal court. So this is a big deal. It's a really good bill. So the term is you get a green card for 10 years. And if you get the green card initially for a conditional basis, it can be revoked if you fail to meet the requirements and return you to your prior status, which would be nothing for most people. You can remove your conditional status after if you get a diploma. You remain here for 10 years. You serve in the military for 2 years. Income at 75% of the last 3 years working. There's also a hardship exception. And you shall be able to apply for citizenship as well. So this is a good deal. And an alien granted permanent residence shall be considered as an alien lawfully permanent resident. This is great stuff. So there you go. That's the DREAM part of the bill. That's a lot of people. La propuesta de DREAM incluye los que entraron, y eso está, nos dice en la propuesta de reconciliación, llegó aquí antes de enero 1 de 2021, llegó antes de 19, o sea, 18 menos, ninguna felonía, no hay 3 delitos menores, tiene un diploma, un GED, está en la escuela estudiando tal, se dan la residencia condicional por 10 años. I mean, wow. Eso sería chévere. The second thing is the Promise Act, or the American Promise Act, APA. This one says the following. If somebody is, physically present in the United States for not less than 3 years, not inadmissible under any of the inadmissibility grounds, is the national of a foreign state that on January 1, 2017 had TPS, and you haven't made yourself ineligible, or DED as of January 20, 2021, then you can adjust status. So every Honduran, Salvadoran, Haitian, Syrian, Nepalese, I believe Nepal, you'll be able to apply for a green card. Wow. And this is a green card. Green card is a permanent residence, permanent residence, not conditional. Por los que tiene TPS, Salvador, Honduras, Haití, Zaire, Nepal, si tiene esto, te van a poder aplicar para la residencia directamente. Punto. Van a cobrar $1,140 y a lo máximo. Yo creo que tendrá que cambiar esto, pero chévere. La residencia, punto. De ahí, por 5 años después, puede aplicar por la ciudadanía. Wow. So that's in this bill. Eso es actualmente algo, increíblemente chévere como parte de la aplicación. Incluye the bill contains a lot of documents you can use, etc., to prove your stay in the United States and all that stuff. But this is a big deal. The other part of the bill, so DREAM and Promise, and the other thing that is in this bill is the agricultural provisions of the bill that allow agricultural workers to obtain permanent residence in the United States. So this would be, let's see, I think this is 1603. They call this the Farm Work Farm Workforce Modernization Act, por los que están en agricultura, que están trabajando, ¿qué aplicarían por ellos? What can they get? Okay, so the way this bill would work is this. It creates a new agricultural worker visa and says this, look, if you get certified as an agricultural worker where you've worked 180 days in the last 2 years, 180 días en los últimos 2 años en agricultura, servicios de labor o servicios, no eres inadmisible, usted puede aplicar por la residencia y conjunto con su esposa y sus niños menos de 21 años. Wow. Y lo que pasará es que va a aplicar por un tiempo de 18 meses para estar en ese trabajo y últimamente va a recibir un estatus certificado, un estatus legal, ¿ok? De ahí esto puede ser extendida por un otro 5 años y medio, entonces por 7 años en total para trabajar. Esa es la parte temporaria en los Estados Unidos. Now, por los que han trabajado aquí por 10 años, ha estado aquí por 10 años y ha trabajado 4 años como un trabajador agricultural, y tiene 8 años antes de ese, después del acta, o en los últimos 10 años, por 8 años trabajó como un trabajador en la agricultura, puede aplicar por la residencia con usted y su familia. Esto es algo, eso es increíble. Es algo que va a tener increíblemente beneficios. So the agricultural workers will be able to get a green card if they've been here for 10 years and in 8 of those years worked in agricultural labor or services, or after they get this new status, this agricultural worker status, in the next 10 years, for 4 of those they work in agriculture for at least 90 days a year, they can get a green card. They can go right to permanent resident. This is really an important part of moving forward and really modernizing our modern workforce. Now, there appears to be something else in this bill that appears to be unclear, to me at least, and that is there's also going to be a legalization program or a green card program. Now, I'm not going to call it a legalization program because a lot of these folks actually have work visas of some kind for essential workers. And as I understand it, there's a list of about 30 areas that include essential workers in healthcare and infrastructure, in a lot of different things is what I understand. And if you've worked in those areas for a certain period of time, then you're going to get conditional status in the United States. También habrá lo que dice, por trabajadores esenciales, habrá una otra vía a la residencia, por los que trabajen en salud, cuidando gente tal vez. Hay una lista de 30 cosas y no hemos visto la lista, pero hay una lista de 30 cosas, me dicen los que me están siguiendo y dándome información, que va a ser muy amplia. La única cosa es que no sabemos si esas cosas van a pasar. The only thing, we talk about all these 4 things, which would probably legalize 6 to 7 million people, really change the face of undocumented immigration in America. We don't know if it's going to pass. That's the only problem. These things are supposedly in the reconciliation bill, but they can only remain in the reconciliation bill if the Senate parliamentarian believes that these things have significant economic budgetary impact. Now, the obvious thing is they clearly do. Clearly, if you're going to bring people into the economy that are working under, let's call it the underground economy, into the above ground economy, how does that not impact the budget? They're all going to be paying taxes more than they're paying now, but they're going to pay a lot more. They're going to pay fees to the government. They're going to support a whole agency. They're going to actually finance changing the shape of the USCIS. So hopefully we'll know. We're going to know this by the end of September. Por el fin, now here's aquí la cosa. No sabemos si esto va a pasar. No sabemos esto. Lo siento. Parece que hay una excelente chance, pero todo depende en una mujer que se llama la parlamentaria. La mujer parlamentaria que decide si el impacto financiero de estos tipos de legalización, de regularización, tiene un impacto sobre el presupuesto del gobierno de los Estados Unidos. Obviamente lo hace, pero ella tiene que decidirlo. So there you go. That is an outline of what supposedly is in this bill. I hope it is. I hope for everybody's sake it is. Because one, it protects what would become known as the legal dreamers. The legal dreamers. They're protected. They all get green cards. Boom, just like that. Just like that. They all get green cards. Problem solved. Just like that. So you would think you wouldn't be calling the head of the Democratic Party's immigration group, Dick Durbin, a racist if you would like this to pass. Probably a stupid thing to do. Don't do that. That's dumb. Let's take a look. We got a lot of comments today. A lot of comments. You notice I didn't talk about litigation today because, there's no news. No news. This is a news show. This is no news. Let's see. Madaban, good to see you. Rahel, you notice I didn't start with any go update because there is none. We will be filing later today a reply to the government. You'll enjoy it. It's kind of a fun little reply. You'll enjoy that. Thank you, Borges. Do I think it will be voted soon? That's a good question on this reconciliation. It's scheduled for debate and vote in September. I think by the end of September is my understanding. So, but it has to pass because it's the budget bill. So it has to pass by the end of September. So we'll see. One thing that I haven't heard it's in it is an extension of the EB-5 program. I haven't heard that from anybody. So we'll see. Carla, ¿qué tal? Gusto verle. Odebek, I'm doing great. I'm more relaxed today, so I got my short sleeve shirt. I never wear a short sleeve shirt, but I wear one today because it's hot. Mariette from Lebanon, yay! Yes, you have a chance. And you say, please help us. What do you think I've been doing for the last 2 years? Helping all of our plaintiffs. Gotta go now. That's very good, Eunice. Very clever. So this passes. I want to get Brandon Go his interview. That's what I want to do. I heard those will still face the bans. Well, that's a good question because the bans appear to be out for those that qualify for these benefits. So that's what we hear. Now, whether that's true or not, we'll see. But it's quite clear that the effect of the pending application says this, for example, on the agricultural workers. During the period of the person applies for adjustment of status until a decision, the foreign national and may apply for advanced parole, may not be detained, may not be considered unlawfully present under 212A9B, and under the section on the actual admission, it appears that 212 A9, A, B, and C, there it is, there does not apply. So this is really good news. It's really good news. And I don't have the DREAM Act up again, but I'm sure they have the same provisions in it. So that's all great news, Salas. What happened with DV 2021? It's on holiday. It could be on holiday. I don't know. I don't think so because he told us remember he told us his August was full. Borges, I've heard about impossibility of reconciliation change the law. Impossibility, no. Listen to what I just talked about. There's a lot of pressure on the parliamentarian, and Democrats are putting together a really good explanation, the parliamentarian, about the economic impact of this bill. Keep in mind, immigration changes have passed in prior reconciliation bills. So it's kind of disingenuous to say immigration doesn't have an economic impact when it very clearly does. Ronald Go, I feel 100% I'm going to win. Of course we're going to win. We're going to win. I mean, no, we're not a shaky. We are in good shape, and our plaintiffs are going to get their visas. I am convinced of that. And certainly we're going to work for that. Español, por favor, Maite, hablé en español. Haga la pregunta en español y te respondo en español. Dulce Bahana, how are you? What about DV 2020? Still pending with Judge Mehta. In fact, I haven't checked my emails in the last hour. Let's see if we got a decision in the last hour. Yeah, we got no decision. Sorry. No decision in the last hour on these cases. None that I can see, right? So sorry, didn't see it. Nothing came down. Let's see. 21 Go plaintiffs go look has 1,000 plaintiffs from my country, and I am getting advantage for being Go plaintiffs. Well, keep in mind, Ronald, we have the final decision. Our case is final. Good luck's not final. This is why you hired us. Let's see. Hello, Professor. I'm not teaching this semester. The semester is starting this next week. I have this semester off. I'll be back teaching at Emory Law School again next winter time. Are Venezuelans included in the bill? No. Had to have TPS from 2017. And I don't think they're going to change it. I really don't. Bruce Buffer says, talking about Go. Nothing to talk about. We're still waiting. Do you think possibly the judge ruled and that governs our Go case in a negative way? No, don't think that's going to happen. Sylvester, good to see you. What is section for DV 2022? Well, has anybody been given an interview for October yet? We won't know until September whether anybody has an October interview for DV 2022. If they don't set interviews, follow us. We'll be suing immediately. We're gonna November 1, we'll file a lawsuit if nobody's been interviewed in October. Okay. Fernanda, love you too. Thank you very much. Are you still optimistic? Yes, I'm optimistic. Remember, I know you focused on September 30, and we've always told you, look, whether you get the visa September 30 or your reserves numbers for November, it's getting the visa that's important, and that's the key. And I think that's the way the judge looks at it. Venezuelans have DED, right, but not January 1. Not January 1. That's it was after January 1, I believe. What do you think the delayed decision of the judge? I don't know, Mariette. I stopped predicting judges a long time ago. ¿Cómo puede hacer una cita? Esmeralda, es muy fácil. Llame a ese número. Así nomás. Y ya puede fijar la cita conmigo. Es bien fácil. Okay. Mary, thank you. I'm praying it will pass. I do too, Mary. I think it's going to be a really good thing. Let's see. Since Go is final, can we set a reservation for us? I actually asked for that. Did you not listen? I asked the judge to reserve the visas for our clients if that's all he was inclined to do to get our clients their green cards. And that's kind of the way it is. All right. And remember, the cases are not consolidated. We had argument together, but they're not consolidated. Okay. What about you didn't get applied for DACA? Well, Mara, you'd be covered. You don't have to have applied for DACA. You had to have been here by January 1, 2021 and come before you were 19. And not a bad person. So it's awesome. Marlia, you gusto verte que vive. Happy 200th anniversary to Peru. Feliz bicentenario a mi amado Peru. Anne Ray, do you think JM, who I take to mean Judge Mehta, may address DV 20 reserve visas first before he thinks about? No, I think he's going to do that at the same time. Let's see. Why you don't do a plaintiff survey for how DQ and how not for Go plaintiffs because of the government? Osama, we have told all our plaintiffs to update the database if you've been documentarily qualified. Did you do it? All you Go plaintiffs, did you do it? We told you to do it. Did you do it? Let me know. We know you speak Spanish very well, so please tell us about DV 2020. Tommy, la debe pendiente, está pendiente. En español, está pendiente. I heard TPS for Southerners is due to be extended. Yes, that is true, and it will be extended, but they're slow. So don't hold your breath until September. Shabnan, why do you think Judge not released that release? I know what you're talking about. So whatever. I already answered all the Go questions I need to answer today. Case sitting documents for DV 20, as they're supposed to. They're supposed to be doing DV 2022. They're supposed to be doing all of it. That's their job. Okay. All right. So lots of Go plaintiffs. Oh, I skipped ahead. I hate when this thing does. It drives me crazy. Amin, where are you, Amin? There you go. Let's see. Fireworks are expiring. Buy new ones. I think you're going to be okay. Los que aplicaron para DACA y le cancelaron las citas para las huellas. Apliquen para eso. Sí, serían calificados por esto. Y esto, por supuesto, sería mucho mejor, ¿no? Es la residencia. Gracias, Carmen de Washington, Georgia. Ramesh, EB2 adjustment and comments on new. Yeah, actually, Ramesh, if you Googled this judge, now the first judge was great. She'd done some really great immigration decisions, and she was a Clinton appointee. This judge last year shut down the Trump administration's refugee policy. So, I mean, we're very happy with this judge. Why they were reassigned, I don't know, but we're just happy. And he's a retired judge, so he doesn't have the caseload that other judges have, which means we'll probably get a faster decision. And we're trying to churn out the PI this week to get it in the judge's hands. Is this deal different than appropriations? It is an appropriations bill, so in some ways it's the same, but it's also different because it's kind of putting everything all at once and does not require a vote beyond the majority, whereas an appropriations bill would typically require 60 votes. What's there for folks in EB backlog? Us winning your case, Shane. That's what's in it. We win the EB case, backlog disappears in 3 years. It's gone. Down to a normal couple years, if even that, at that point. It would be awesome. Way better than any other crazy bills that are out there that just do away with per country limits and make everybody wait 15 years. That's just stupid. That's a stupid way to do this. The better way is to use all the visas. Thank you very much. One of the first 100 plaintiffs in Gomez, their name is filed by Britt Simon, so I'm plaintiff. Who can get priority in my class? My case number is too high. Well, Saeed, we'll see. If you're in Gomez, then you have lawyers. You should call your lawyers on that case. They're the folks that have the online website that you register. Is essential legal to work on work visa? Yes. That's what's amazing. That's what's amazing. It's awesome. Let's see. Do you think Judge might give a decision? I think he's going to do them all the same day, personally. 3 p.m. in Prensa Atlanta hablaremos sobre la visa de trabajo. Exactamente. ¿Quién califica? Ahí estamos. Hi, Charles. Greetings from Croatia. I love Croatia. I had a lovely Christmas holiday there a few years ago. Beautiful, beautiful country. Great people, great food. It's wonderful. Let's see. How likely is the bill to pass? I don't know. I don't know. I hope it does. I mean, obviously, we need to be gathering steam and demanding that our senators are already going to vote for it. So it's easy for us here in Georgia now. Can a spouse take care of their sick spouse be considered as an essential worker? That's what we don't know, Gerald. We don't have the details yet. I think they're probably referring to people actually employed, but I don't know. DACA recipient can travel document from my iPhone is ready to schedule an interview. I would, if you are literally have already traveled and have another advanced parole through adjustment, you can travel, but why don't you just hold off and be interviewed and get your green card? It's more fun to travel on a green card. Let's see. Oh yeah, Sticky Notes on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. Hello, Mr. Cook. What's your suggestion about order for Go? I think we're going to get a decision soon. You mentioned the government reply, all Go are scheduled, but still not even DQ. No, what I said was there were 6 plaintiffs that we highlighted in our motion. All but one have been scheduled, and that is Brandon Go. Not every plaintiff, the 6 that we mentioned, I was very clear about that. Maybe my English is too fast. I apologize. Any further update on AOS delay litigation? Madame, we're literally working. Greg's firm is putting together the PI. Hopefully I'll see a draft of that tonight so we can finalize it and file. The goal is always to file it on Friday. Let's see. Do you think it has been open for termination risk? Yes, I think it's going to be, it's going to be defined And then they'll have a catch-all, is what they always do. You know what that is. If I have DACA and don't go to school anymore, but I do work, do I qualify for this bill? Angelica, go get your GED. A GED is a 9th grade test. If you went through the 9th grade, you will pass the test. Get your GED. Is a must law by law that go should have summary judgment in the fiscal year? No. Hi, Charles. What's the purpose of filing an answer to the government's response dated July 30th? You will see when we answer. It's really, if you read the government's affidavits, they lend themselves to pointing out to the judge that the affidavits of the government support our claim that they did nothing for 7 months. So we're just going to point that out. Let's see. No update on DACA. TPS included in the bill. Yes. What about DACA first applicants that already had their binders done? Are we going to be included? Yes, you would. Abogado, tengo una 130 con fecha mayo 26 de 99. El boletín tabla B dice mayo 8. Puede empezar a ser justo. Tiene que esperar un mes más. Y de ahí me llames, Armando. Me llames y te ayudamos. Llame por la cita. Remember, if you want to make an appointment, just make the call. Zoom. Do it on Zoom, do it on a phone, do it in person, whatever you like to do. I've been vaccinated, and we all wear masks here. All right, so we got that. All right. Let's see, Armando, where were we? Right here. Lucas, go to River as the bill becomes a law that would impact DV 2022. No, there's no impact that we can tell. Anything for EB backlog, folks? No, not that we can tell. I know that there's a push for the Meng Amendment and to capture all the unused visas. And again, that has a massive economic, it should be in the bill, obviously, but this is not an overall fix everything bill. They want to push the things that they know they can demonstrate new economic impact. The problem for EB backlog, folks, is you're already making the impact. Getting you a green card doesn't give you a different impact. And that's why it might not be in the bill. Let's see. I-130 for parents, average update for day. How until they ask for the first round? I don't know what you're talking about, Manny. What round? I don't think my parents are drinking. Judge, mandate reserve visas, how can we add our sons? They're born after 9/30. The Child Status Protection Act will protect them. Let's see. Three Amigos Fiesta. This bill passes would affect one son property. That's a good question. There's nothing in the bill about that I read just briefly. I'll have to go back and do a more detailed look. But we'll see. There should be, right? There should be. Si entraste cuando tenías 18 años, no importa si fue 99. Correcto. Antes de 21, enero 1, y antes de 19. Okay. It has to pass the House, Senate, and be signed by voters. That's all true. But if it passes the Senate, it will assuredly pass the House. If the bill gets passed, what will be passed within the application? That's what we don't know. Generally, these things are usually 90 days from enactment. So they pass it in September, signed before October 1, probably be January, which means it'll be a very busy Christmas this year. If we get reserve visas, which will be processed first? They'll just dump them into one, Mugo. Just dump into one and just start processing. FYI, the U.S. Consul Sri Lanka's can't. Yes, I know, Volkan, you sent me, which is, they canceled DV interviews, but apparently they're still doing others, which again speaks loudly about why they need to reserve these visas. Let's see. Almost I jumped ahead here. What happened again? I thought, there we go. What kind of essential workers? That's what I don't know, Ricky. There's a list. I don't have the list. By next Monday, I will have the list. Let's see. On which email you should update your case. We sent you an email with a link to Greg's server. You go on there and update it. It's where you signed up for the case. It's right there. Thank you, Odebek. Raj, if judge gives decision on MOMAs, when will you think that we're going to be issued? Well, they should be issued right away, right? But the judge is not going to dictate that. He's going to say you have, what I think he's going to say, the government has 24 months to issue all these visas. Gives them plenty of time to get it done. Let's see. Hello, Yassine. Good to see you. Benel Abdelaziz, Hugo, I traveled on AP, thanks. Yeah, see? 2 legal entries. Some of them left on a voluntary departure. They went to travel. They will have no problem, Hugo. If you have an advanced parole, they will let you back in the country even if you have a deportation order. Really. So you can do it. All right. Do you work on I-130s? Of course we work on I-130s, man. We are a full service, 50 employees here, immigration law firm. We do everything. We don't just sue the government. We don't just lobby Congress. We don't just get people asylum. We don't save people from deportation. We don't just do $1 million investors and regular investors and green cards for software people. We do marriages, fiancé visas. We do it all because it's all fun to help immigrants of all kinds. What happens with asylum applications that have been pending for years? They're probably going to remain pending for years. I mean, they need more asylum officers. I mean, they just don't have enough bodies to look at them. Golden Gate, great live stream. Can you help a Brazilian immigrant who is here and had a brother as a citizen? Well, having a brother here doesn't make you stay. That's not how this works. That's like a 15-year-long wait. But maybe he's got an employer. I don't know. You need to make an appointment. Come on in. We'll talk about it or do it on the phone. Omar, DACA recipient, can I travel to Mexico? Yes. Already answered this question. You're good. I don't hope we win. I know we're going to win. Omar, you already answered that question. Golden Gate. Will Farm Worker Reformation Act pass and reconciliation grant legal status Mexico to come over for 5 years? I think it will. I actually 2 weeks ago I would say no chance. I'm becoming with the passage of the infrastructure bill. I'm feeling pretty good. Now that's a bad sign because every time I felt good, it didn't go through. But I figure you deserve to know what's in there. Okay. Let's say, can I add my spouse to a reserve visa? Well, presumably you put your spouse on the DS-260 and submitted their documents. So don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. Thanks for the information. The patient keep you fit. You're welcome. It's a construction of underground utilities considered an essential worker. Good question. I don't know. Should be if they're putting in Wi-Fi or internet. That would be great. What we will get if Moscow is totally closed? Well, we're asking the judge to order them to put you in a different consulate. That's what has to happen. Whether it's Warsaw or Bratislava or somewhere. Okay. Me dieron salida voluntaria en 2010, pero no salí porque me dieron el TPS. Ya salí con el TPS. ¿Me puede pedir mi hijo americano está? Sí, puede hacerlo. Is it legal to have U.S. as well as Canadian permanent residence time? Yes, although both countries require you to be there 50% of the time, so I don't know how you're going to balance the two. Let's see. What do I think about DV 2020 winners comparing with DV 2020 and 2021? I think you're all wonderful. Welcome to America. We will fight for you all the way. Is that the question? Golden Gate, how much is a retainer? I have no idea. We don't ever talk about money on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, or LinkedIn. You come in, make an appointment, and we'll talk about your case. Let's see. Go. Hello, sir. I want to inform you that the Anchor has blocked my email account when I asked for it. They blocked your email account. How do you know that? If you're a Go plaintiff, please email Aaron and I so we can call the government and say, hey, you're blocking our clients. I don't think the judge will be very happy about that. I've returned with AP in April. Woo, American citizen. Woo. 2 entries. That's the problem. If you've got 2 entries out of inspection and in between there, you stayed unlawfully in the U.S. for longer than a year, then you cannot adjust. I'm sorry. Cannot adjust. That's the bar. That sucks. That's what we need to get rid of. All right. So thank you, everybody, for coming today. Great having you. Can I help speed up a K1 interview in Haiti? If you can get 100 people, we can file a mass litigation against Haiti, which, by the way, I hear is just terrible right now on immigration issues in the consulate. Or you can file a singular lawsuit, which does, in fact, also work. Give us a call. All you got to do is you know who I am, right? So you call us here for an appointment, right here. Llama por la cita. Estamos aquí para servir a ustedes. We're here to help. We're here to help you. If you need anything else, you give us a call, and we're here to make sure that your immigration dreams become reality. Thanks, everybody, for watching today. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.